Awesome. Appreciate you taking the time out, Jeremy. It's been a little while since we've heard from you. This fight was booked 3 times. Here you are during fight week. How nice is it to finally be here with Calvin Kattar, knowing that you're going to face him on Saturday?
Yeah, it's a great opponent. Couldn't ask for a better opponent. Someone who's going to fight and be there. It's going to make for an exciting fight, and what a historical card to be on in UFC 249. Really give the American people some raw entertainment, and in these times, let's pull these people out of these hardships and let them know what we're here to do.
And I've seen in some recent interviews, he said that he kind of ran into you before this fight was scheduled out in Vegas, and you actually pulled him aside and took him over to Sean Shelby and said that you wanted this fight. Is that true? And B, if so, why did you want this fight so badly?
It's facts. Yeah, for sure. And just because he's a fighter, these other guys, they kind of dance around, pick and choose, and Calvin's one of them guys. He's Boston strong. He brings out that raw fighting. And that's the way I like to fight too. So you put two and two together, that makes one heck of a fight, and that's what the fans want to see. They want to see a really good fight, and he's a guy who thinks that he can match my skills, and I'm gonna put him to the test.
My last question for you. This is the first time in your career that you've gone a 4-fight stretch without a win. I know one of them was a no contest. Do you feel any extra sense of urgency in this fight? I know you're a guy that always comes to bring it, but does this one mean a little bit more to you, knowing that you need a win here?
I think it's a 3-fight stretch, but yeah, it's just more or less like proving it to myself. I want to get back in the win column. Going on like over a year now, and not winning, coming up a little bit short, and that kind of rides my soul a little bit. It makes me dig a little bit deeper. So now I'm a little bit more hungry. I was watching Jordan, the Last Dance, and he goes up 2-0 against the Phoenix Suns, and then Charles Barkley in the third game. They were just a little bit more hungry. Jordan's up, he's up 2 games, and he kind of lays off the gas a little bit. And Charles Barkley had that hunger in that third game. And you can't stop that hunger. That will to win. And I don't think anybody else has a will to win more than me. I love this sport. I love fighting, but there's nothing more than winning and getting that win. So my will to win is super strong. My spirit, my soul, it's on fire right now, and I really just can't wait to go in there and unleash on Calvin.
Appreciate the time, Jeremy. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Dan Owen, you have been unmuted. You may ask Jeremy a question.
Thanks. Appreciate your time, Jeremy. Obviously, we're in some pretty crazy times at the moment, and I think most people outside of UFC circles would be questioning over the course of the last few weeks of an event like this even taking place. Can you give us some insight on the conversations that have been happening for you behind the scenes with the UFC in terms of getting you on the card, preparing you for the location, and just making sure you're ready and ready to fight on the weekend?
Sorry, man. I don't have any inside information. I told him to stop calling me with all these crazy events. I basically just told my manager stop calling. Like I know I have a date. I know I have an opponent. Just call me when everything's 100% confirmed. I'm just one of them guys. I really don't care. When they talked about the Khabib and Ferguson fight was going to be on Mars, I was super excited because I really thought it was going to happen. So I was willing to go there. And I don't have any inside information. I'm here to do my job, show up, and give the American people entertainment. Let them know, hey, you got to take risks. You got to step outside the box. The stay at home man, he's a dead man. You gotta take the risk. You got to go out there and that's why I'm loving that UFC is going out there and proving like, hey, the show goes on. You can't stop. You can't let it bring you down. You got to rise to the occasion, and we get to go out there as some of the baddest. You got some of the baddest motherfuckers on this card, really. Some of the best in the UFC to go out there and just prove to the American people that, hey, we're here. Show goes on, life goes on, and you must move forward and be persistent.
And finally, just from a kind of mindset perspective, have you thought about what it's going to be like stepping into the octagon in an empty arena, being able to hear, obviously no crowd noise, but potentially just the corners issuing information and the crack of your hand against him?
Yeah, when I've been in the gym. I was going in the gym late at night. I have a key to the gym, and no one else was in there. I was going in there into the I was playing like I was walking out. I was doing my own visualization. I was going in there. I was hearing my breathing. I was hearing my footsteps in an empty gym in the cage. I could hear my feet on the canvas. I could hear my breathing, and it just clicked to me that it's going to be that much easier. Honestly, hearing my coach's calls. You don't have to deal with the crowd. It's just going to be that much more clear. And what better than, because I love listening to my coaches that they'll guide me right into victory. I'm their favorite Mortal Kombat fighter, and they get to use me and just no distractions. It's gonna be easy. I can't wait to go in there and make it look easy.
I appreciate your time. All the best for the weekend.
Thank you, sir.
BT Sport, you're next. Caroline, may speak.
Hear me now?
Yes.
Hi. Hi, Jeremy. The first question is just about the fight week. I know you're staying in an Airbnb with your family. So what's the experience been like so far? And, what's your mindset at right now, just a few days out from the fight?
It's gorgeous here in Jacksonville. It's nice and hot. It's beautiful. It just reminds me of San Diego. Having an Airbnb just kind of reminds me like I'm at home training, and I got my training partners out here. Everything's in perfect alignment.
I know it's your daughter's birthday tomorrow. How are you going to plan to celebrate with her in Jacksonville?
Her birthday's today.
Oh, today.
Yeah, so I gave her a call, sung her happy birthday in my best vocals that I could try to reach. And yeah, there's gonna be nothing. I've done this before. When I fought Sam Stout, I knocked his head around and came home and celebrated her birthday. So I don't really expect anything different. Bringing home a good win and eating some good food, and she's been around the game a long time. She knows what Dad does, and kind of sucks that I can't be there with her, but she knows what's up. I'm around every day and involved in her life, and I just can't wait to go home and get some good food after a good win.
Let's talk about your training camp. So you said you've been working with Dominick Cruz, both of you at Alliance. I mean, how beneficial has it been in this time when it's probably more difficult to train to a certain degree, having someone else that's training for such an important fight on the card?
Yeah, I was training by myself there for a while, and then I was actually over at his house doing some swim workouts when he got the call that he would be fighting Cejudo. And so then, immediately he got on board with the sprints and the program. So it wasn't just me suffering. It gets kind of dark when you're there and you're lonely and you're doing these dark trainings and getting in good shape. And when you look over and you see one of your best friends suffering and what they're going for too, it adds a little bit more of motivation, a little bit more passion into this. The fact that we're competing in some world history here and this event is that more meaningful, and it's just going to feel so great, coming out winners in this COVID and UFC 249, an special event.
What's your biggest motivation going into this fight? I mean, obviously coming off the losses, but we know how experienced a fighter you are, the veteran you are in the sport, and many of us think this could be fight of the night contender. So what's your motivation? What is it you want to showcase in this fight?
I want to showcase my will to win, my heart, my raw, authentic self, my heart, my balls, my will to never give up, but just most of all, my will to win. And also too, I feel like a lot of people are writing me off in this fight. I feel like they're all going on Cater's side, and like, oh, it's going to be a tough fight. It's going to be a tough fight. Well, believe me, I've trained for the most vicious guy. I dreamed of this guy beating me. I dreamed of him being longer and me hit me from 10 feet away. So I trained for a monster, and anybody who knows me and has been a fan of this sport, you ever see me lost, I come back better and better, and I can't wait to go out there and just shock the world, and people are going to be saying, "Damn, wow, he looked great. That's the best he's looked." My will to win and my ever evolvingness. I'm constantly evolving, and like I said, don't be shocked when I go out there and make it look easy.
And last question from me. You want to go out there and shock the world. What does that look like? What's the perfect finish for you?
A knockout faster than Masvidal, putting him on the canvas, and then me fighting 3 days later.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jeremy.
John Morgan with MMA Junkie, you're next. I have you next.
Shermet.
Yes, we
Before
can.
that, Korean Superboy, a couple of emphatic finishes. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
A couple of big finishes for you back on your last victories against Josh Emmett and Korean Superboy. You're a fighter who loves to be explosive, get the finish. Given that you've had a few losses behind you, would you take the decision, or is it just as important as ever to be explosive and get that finish?
I don't train for decisions. I train to finish. Come watch me train. And come watch me put in work. I don't even win decisions, honestly. You ever watch my fights? I suck at getting the decisions my way. But tell you what, man, I put people in body bags. And last time I was down here in Florida, I did put somebody in a body bag. So that's what I'm looking to do. That's how I fight. That's how I train. That's how I want to win. And that's my raw, authentic self. I'm not trying to be something that I'm not. And these are facts. Look at the highlight tape. It's probably one of the most scariest highlight tapes on the UFC roster. So I have full intentions on just whooping Cater's ass and putting him on my highlight reel and moving on.
You're a veteran of the game. You've been up, you've been down. You're 7th right now in the rankings. How much attention do you pay to the rankings? Do you constantly check them? How much do they matter to you?
No, it don't matter at all. I like good opponents, guys that are gonna show up and actually want to fight and put on a good show and makes for a good night for me.
Is there a sense that this is significant in terms of maybe more people will be watching this than ever, more fans who don't ordinarily watch MMA? There's not a lot of live sport happening right now. Do you feel an added urge to do something special here?
No, I can just be me because I am special. The way that I fight is special. I've been knocking guys out since I've been 16 years old. I've been knocking grown men out at bars since I was 16, and even before that, I've knocked out grown men. And I'm excited. I had an Instagram post from Shane Victorino and talking about how he's so excited for the UFC and all these celebrities and everybody in the whole world's just been shut down. What better action-packed #1 sporting event than the UFC to come through and bring people out of the hardships? I couldn't think of a better sport. Would you really be watching basketball? Yeah, probably. But is it really that exciting? No. Is like the football or tennis that's going? No. UFC. And we got the best goddamn boss. Dana White is just fucking persistent, just an animal. He's one of us when it comes to the fighting. He has that fighting spirit. He's busted his ass to bring the American people raw entertainment. This is what they want. Show goes on. Like I said before, the staying at home, man. He's gonna die. He's not gonna be able to provide for his family. And they're shutting down the beaches. They're shutting down everything. These are the best things in the world. You're going outside with mask on, which is the best thing for you is oxygen. The beach, the sunshine. You can't be with the God given world things that are given to us. They're taking them away, and we get to go out there and just prove to the world like, hey, it's worth the risk. Go out there and do it, and we're gonna bring America back on top.
Thanks, Andrew. Next up is Jay Anderson with Cage Side Press.
He doesn't know the calls, and honestly, it doesn't matter. Even if he does know, take the corners and everything out of this COVID right now. If Cater walked in here right now, I'd whoop his fucking ass. Like if he's gonna come in here, say break into my house, what am I gonna do? Stretch out? Oh, give me a minute. I need to get wrapped up. No, that's not a fight. The fight is my intentions are beat your fucking ass before you beat mine. That's it. Kill or be killed. And take coaches out of it. I don't care. You can hear the calls. Most people do hear the calls. That ain't gonna stop you. What happens when you hear the call and then I faint and do a different call? It doesn't. It's not gonna stop it. Shit. I'd give him my corner to even fight against me. You're not. It's right here. It's in your heart. It's in your mind. And what I have in my heart and in my mind is my will to win and my precision to just go forward and do anything at all costs and just dominate Calvin Cater. No, not so much in like the fight camps. It's kind of been a little bit, like where I've kind of gone in and trained like, empty and done all that. But I do that anyway. Uh, I train alone a lot of the times. Like my coach always telling me to pull off the reins, but then I go out and I do my own thing. I just I can't sit at home. You sit at home, you die, you start thinking of crazy stuff, and instead of sitting there thinking, I'd rather go out there and take action and do. During this fight week, it's been normal at my Airbnb, but like this, with the camera in front of me and I'm on a virtual interview and getting a swab test in my nose, that's a little bit different, but it makes it for that much more exciting. I've been here so many fucking times that this is a little bit different. This is kind of like that new feeling again, and I get these new experiences, so it's kind of fun and exciting to me. And as far as I'm concerned, everybody seems happy that they're just being able to be here, do their job, and they get some entertainment. So I'm excited to be here. It's fun. It's new, and I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be here. This is I'm glad I'm on this event. Yeah.
Thanks, Jeremy. Have a good day.
You guys too. Thank you.
Back to you. Up next.